And it is done. GameMaker Toolkit's GameJam 22 is over. 50 hours of coding, and now submissions are closed and there's week to play other games and rate them. And the theme was Roll the Dice. And my action-adventure game moved forward. Last time I'd gotten the basics down, but I needed to make some models and movement. Models I made in Blender using the basic shapes, and I'm quite happy how they worked out. I used a lot of same bases and then added things to mark these as different chess pieces. On the level design, I made doors, so every door is its own object, and I made a script that it has triggers. When triggers are destroyed, the door opens. So first, if you destroy the lock, it will open the door. Animating the door was surprisingly hard because I wanted to use prefabs so I could add them straight to game and copy them, but animations were made so that they had coordinates, and then the door just teleported from other place to wrong place. But now I'm quite happy. We have a couple of levels. It is all one scene that has different challenges. And I got the builds, and this is the 1.2. It is actually one that I couldn't get to the GameJam because the submissions got closed before I got this through. So there are some changes, but I'm quite happy with the submission I put on. Okay. So Dungeons and Dices is the name of the game. I kinda like that the first thing is the rulebook because this was inspired by tabletop role-playing games, and the die comes up as natural one as the first thing. I add 2 tutorials, so for jumping that you can double jump, and then using control you can hover and then make the attack. And I added this log, so we have a test case. And there, when the trigger is destroyed, the door is open. Next, I wanted to tell about the boss numbers and added this rune site. I also noticed that actually you don't have to jump. You can just be here and press control, so it will attack downwards. But I think it's okay. 10 is the first moving enemy. And the script is really simple. I wanted to code everything myself, so it just takes the X and Z positions of the player and follows them. If I would have given it a Y position, it would fly after us, but now it only follows us. And it has 7 HP, so people can see how it works. It also has the swords to hurt me. There, I lost 1 HP, but every time we destroy enemy, we got a full HP. This game is a bit tricky, and I wanted there to be many ways to get health back. If you die, it just reloads the scene, so you start over. Okay, 10 tower that shoots. This is actually quite hard because it takes the even amount and it shoots the projectiles. So, and it is a bit large, so you need to take some time to win it over. Okay, and then we move forward to the knights. I wanted to make that they move like the chess pieces they are modeled after. I gave them swords that move more quickly and reach longer, but they're just basic enemies, so we can just spam them. Yes. Like that. And the enemies start moving even before you hit there, but I thought it's okay. The swords are quite bad because they move quickly, so they can take a lot of your health away, but they're really easy to dodge. And at the moment, there's no animation, no slowdown, fade to black. It just starts over. But I don't know, I just like the opening screen with Dungeons and Dice's book and the natural one, as if you failed, this is where you end up. And the escapes. There is also an end scene, but I don't want to go there. If you want to see it, you need to play it yourself. As for code, I was quite happy that I could write everything myself. Of course, I looked through internet for a couple of things to check, but everything is written by hand, so it was nice. For the door, I made that it has 4 triggers, and if every one of them is null, so there's no objects there, then it will open. And you can put the triggers yourself, and here you can see that this door has 4 triggers, and I put in 2 knights, and when both of these knights are destroyed, they become the non-game object or null, and then the door will open. The pawn movement was quite easy. It will move towards the gamer's position. This is probably the only code that I left that wasn't written by my hand, but it should help with the enemy stuttering if you're right above them. I also added on trigger enter, so when the player enters its trigger site, which is quite large, then it will make player its target and start moving towards it. And then there was the point movement. I used the same logic. It takes the X and Z coordinates and moves towards them, but the only difference is that this has 4 points, and it changes the point when it reaches the last one. Why I wanted to make this? Well, the pawn is quite easy because you want to kill it, you want to jump over its head, and when it's coming straight to you, and if you're over it, it will stay under you. It is really easy. So it is more hard that the pieces will move, and you need to be the active one and move towards them. And how this works? Let's take the knight here. I put all the pieces in this room to the same unit, and there's 4 targets that make the movement cycle. Both knights. They have the movement, and I can put the targets here, which will be their first one and where will they move next. There's also idle time, 1 and 2. Why is this here? Well, it's because I wanted pieces to move like chess pieces, so knights move forwards and sideways. And after every time it hits the target, it first checks the idle time 1, and here it is 0, so it continues straight. And then when it reaches the next one, then it will wait 3 delta time units before moving again. And I thought that this makes the movement more interesting than if they would move continuously or randomized. I also had possibility for movement speed, so I can make different kinds of enemies with this. Yeah, battles, and there is the end game level. I'm quite happy actually with it, how it turned out. So there you have it, 50 hours in, and that's the game I got out. It is on itch.io, where is probably where you found these videos if someone's watching. It's actually my first time doing video devlogs, so hopefully these have been informative, but probably they are more for me to see how this went. There are 2 versions you can download to your computer and play them. I try after the GameJam has ended. I try to add browser-friendly version of the game, but I'm not sure if it works. But yeah, now just to wait. Ratings for this. Oh, 1 person has rated this already. Nice. But yeah, there's over 6,000 games, and now it's time for me to take it easy and start playing myself. So hopefully this was fun for you, because it was really fun for me. This is probably the most complete game I have gotten done in a game jam. I've done a couple before, but the time pressure always gets to me. So thanks for listening if someone's there, and have a nice day and good gaming.